Okay. So, welcome to the session, guys. This is Finding Jobs with MQSE with myself, Sena, and my colleague, Sam. We are the talent advisors here. With MQSE, we do have some of our colleagues helping us in the back with the chat and any questions you may have. I can see Erica and Jen were here a moment ago. So just to get started, I will share my screen now. Hello, Jen. Okay. Okay, so here's the slides. Okay, here we go. Finding jobs with MQSE. Just once again on the Zoom etiquette side of things, please feel free to leave any questions you have in the chat function. But please make sure to remain respectful of everybody and be mindful of everyone that's participating today. This session, as I mentioned, is recorded. So if you do wish not to be on camera, please leave your camera off. Today's session will be just a brief introduction by Sam and myself into MQSE, what the program is, what you can get by joining the program. So with that, we can just quickly get started. Before we do, just a quick acknowledgement of country. I acknowledge the traditional owners of the Macquarie University land, the Wallu-Madigal clan of the Darug Nation. We pay respects to the elders and knowledge holders who have and continue to share their wisdom and knowledge, nurturing and sustaining our environments, cultures, and education. Okay, so now we're gonna get into a quick introduction on MQSE. What is the MQSE Job Ready Club? I will pass it over to my colleague Sam to cover this section. Before I do, I will quickly get out of this full screen just to make sure the session is still being recorded.
It is, Sena.
Okay, awesome. Thanks, Erica. Because I can't see the red dot on my screen. That's why
that's fine.
I've got a notice. Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, so now with that out of the way, I'll pass it over to Sam.
Okay, and good morning or good afternoon, everybody, on this rainy, wet Tuesday. So welcome and thank you for joining us today in Careers Week. The MQSE is a team that has been organised and we work specifically for the students. We're employed by the students and we're here to help you as you go through your journey at university, whether it be to help you with a part-time job, a casual role, right through to graduate roles and internships. So we're here and we're designed to help you specifically for that purpose. So we connect whether you're still studying, the current students and recent graduates of Macquarie University, you've got access to all the jobs that we are privy to over the next, I think, a year. Once you graduate, you can still access those roles. So we can help you design a resume, we can help you improve that resume and cover letters. MQSE is designed to replicate jobs when you're actually applying for jobs. So you will apply to MQSE with a cover letter, a resume, and then we'll do an intake interview. So you'll actually sit down with one of us one-on-one for half an hour and go through some questions that are designed to help you improve your confidence and your ability to source work. So that's pretty much what MQSE Job Ready Club and MQSE is all about. So we look forward to meeting with you and having you enroll with us. Thanks, Sena. So this is the services we offer. I've just given you a brief overview, but to go through it one by one, it's mastering that job application process. We teach you how to read through a job ad and sort of see the requirements that they're looking for. There's certainly no point applying for a job that you don't have relevant experience for. And we're finding that a lot of students are just kind of saying, well, I like the title of that. And don't necessarily have the right qualifications or aren't heading down the right path. So we'll help you identify what's important to be looking for as you apply for those roles. We're constantly talking to employers that are really keen to employ Macquarie University students. You've got such a great reputation out there in the workplace. So we are constantly being enticed by all the both big and small companies that are looking for admin assistants right through to graduate accountancy roles, actuarial roles. It is so diverse, it's fantastic, but it's a credit to the university and the students that are going through that we are so desirable and getting an absurd amount of requests for students, so that's great. Again, we will help you tailor your cover letters, your CVs, your resumes, same thing, and prepare for interviews. We'll be teaching you how to become really confident, and when you're sitting in an interview situation and you're asked those hairy questions that we all get all the time in pretty much every interview, we can give you some tricks and tips on how to answer those. In extension to that, part of MQSE and the employment service that we offer at Macquarie, there's a whole careers team that are there that are available to specifically help you through your journey in your faculty, for example. Like we have specialists in education, in accountancy, in finance, in business. So it's great. We're there to help you and to put you on the best foot forward. So, thanks, Anna. Sort of jobs that we're constantly being, I guess the best way to say it is offered. A lot of employers approach us and they've already got the role in mind that they're looking for, and they come from all aspects of the career spectrum, I guess is the best way to say it. There we've listed hospitality, retail and admin roles, which are great roles if you're in first year university, second year uni, just wanting to get some cash to help you through your journey at university. We go right through to internships, career development roles, graduate positions and postgraduate positions. We also do a lot of work with postgraduate students, which is a different sort of role altogether because they've more often than not got a lot of experience. We partner with many of the sectors that you are sort of involved with in your university journey. I won't read them out, but you can see them all there. There's great diversity in what we're doing in the back end of MQSE. So be nice to see you there. Thanks, Sina. And these are just some of the companies that we've dealt with. Actually, looking at them all, we've probably dealt with them all this year, which is only 2.5 months in. So there's plenty of roles at the moment. I think Sina was telling me today we've done over 40 just in February, which is out of control. And again, like a credit to Macquarie University's reputation, and it sort of, must make you all feel very confident about what lies ahead and what you're learning and what you're offering to the world as you graduate. So there's good fun roles there. There's some really challenging things and high-end sort of roles. So you just got to keep positive and come and meet us and you'll be able to embark on those journeys. So thank you. Thanks, Sina.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Sam. And that was actually over 85. So we are a rapidly growing program. The program is becoming more and more popular with employers, as Sam just mentioned, because you guys are popular as candidates. So that was some of the benefits you would get by joining the program. Now I will actually run you through the steps that will be required. So the first step of the way is a workshop that we have. This workshop is designed to give you a complete insight into the recruitment process and what you need to be aware of at every step of the way to give you the chance to stand out at every step and be successful at every stage of the process. Beyond the workshop, then you would have your resume and cover letter ready, hopefully based on the information you get from our workshop. Or as Sam mentioned, there's lots of other resources you can use, such as the careers workshop that our colleagues in the careers team are doing, or any of the resources that are available on Employability Connect. So you can develop your resume and cover letter, and you can submit that to a job advert that we've designed for the purpose of this program. Once your CV and cover letter is reviewed, it's either approved, meaning that it's ready to be submitted to employers, or it needs more development. So if it's approved, you move on to the next step, which is going to be the intake interview, as Sam mentioned. But if we if we determine that your CV and cover letter still needs a little bit of work, we would recommend that you attend that resume and cover letter workshop delivered by our career advisors colleagues. So the next step in the intake interview, it's a 30-minute conversation, as Sam mentioned. So the first portion of it is us having a sort of a practice interview. We will ask you a few questions that are usually asked at most interviews. These are general questions. So they're not job specific, they're general background question and some questions around your experiences. And the second portion of this intake interview is us giving you feedback on your interview performance or the answers you've provided. And then we can also, at the end of it, have a conversation. You can sort of tell us what questions you may have or what challenges you may have faced, and we will try to provide you with advice as best as we can. So beyond the intake interview, again, similar to the last step, if we determine that you are ready for interviews at corporate levels, then your interview is approved and you are part of the program. You complete the process. And if we determine that you still may need a little bit of more information on interviews or a little bit more practice, we would recommend you to attend an interview workshop by the career team. So once you complete this process, you are part of the program. This means that when you apply for the jobs that we provide, then we will know that you are part of the program. So in the internal system we use to assess applications, there will be a label next to your name that will validate that you are part of the program. So then we know we've spoken with you. We know you are essentially, as the name suggests, job ready. Beyond that, we will be able to recommend you to employers based on the conversation we have. If we have a conversation and you've had some good experience and you're ready for that next step, then when we have conversations with employers and they have requirements that's a good fit for you, we will be able to sell you in straight away. We will also be able to provide you with jobs that come up that might be good for you. So for you to be able to consider those and see if you want to apply. And beyond that, it's just this coaching sort of endeavor that you go through. It's the conversations we get to have. You can ask us any questions you have, and we can provide you with the personalized coaching that we mentioned. So that's a little bit on the steps involved in the process. So now there's a QR code on the screen that you can scan. This will take you to the Employability Connect website where you can sign up for the program right now. As you can see on the left-hand side, this is what the process will look like once you sign up. So as you can see on this example, the step 1 has got a green tick next to it, meaning the person has submitted their form to sign up and have attended the workshop. So they've completed step 1. Step 2, it says resume and cover letter. So this person, as an example, needs to submit their resume and cover letter for review. And once that's approved, they can move on to step 3, which is the intake interview. So this is accessible either via this QR code. If it hasn't expired, we've had that happen in the past. Hopefully it's working. But if not, it's available on Employability Connect as well. As you can see, the middle tile there, it's called Student Employment. You can access the program from that page as well. So now we've talked about the steps involved in the program and some of the benefits you're going to get by joining and running through the program. Now we can have a quick chat about some of the content we cover in the workshop that you will attend and sort of some of the common employability skills that's going to help you in your journey. These are some of the most employable skills that you're seeing on the screen right now. These are things you can start developing no matter at what stage of journey you're at, either if you're even a first-year student or close to graduating or graduated. These are the skills you're going to want to develop through employment or volunteering activities or any extracurricular activities. These are skills that you you may have these skills already. You might be a great communicator, but it's what you need to do is sort of put that into practice via your actual employment experience or volunteering, because having these experiences allow you to sort of market these skills that you have them and that you've demonstrated them within an employment, within a volunteering activity. So communication is a very important one. You want to sort of written and verbal. There's sort of teamwork and interpersonal skills that you want to develop. There's sort of problem solving or relationship management. All of these are going to be skills that you can develop through as you go along. These are the types of skills you want to be discussing in interviews. These are the skills you're going to be asked on, sort of having good organizational skills, even if you're applying, let's say, for an accounting position or, marketing position. It's a sort of a combination of these skills that you're going to be required to deliver, and you will be sort of questioned on. And again, as I mentioned, you might be a master at organizational skills, but what you want to do is apply them to either paid employment or volunteering activities so that they're on your CV, so that you can actually market them and you can actually sort of sell those and validate those in the experiences that you have. Because in any interview or in your CV, you can put in all of these skills, but at the end of the day, it's how you apply these that's going to be much more valuable. So if you say I'm a master at organizational skills, if you've applied that to a job, if you've applied that to some type of activity, it's going to carry much more weight than if you just write down that you have organizational skills, because you want to be able to provide examples around these. You want to sort of have examples ready around communication, because interview questions you're going to be asked, for instance, would be, can you tell us about a time you've communicated effectively? Can you tell us about a time you had a challenge in communication and you had to overcome it? So you want to be able to sort of apply these skills and develop them and demonstrate them. And also, as you're moving along your experiences, come up with your examples. Sort of pay attention to where you are encountering certain challenges, how you overcome them, and sort of take them as an opportunity. These challenges you encounter in your work and your volunteering. I keep highlighting volunteering because one of the most common questions we have, I'm a young student, I don't have much experience, how do I get started? And we always say volunteering is a great way to go. It just demonstrates a great attitude on your part to want to be able to develop yourself and make a contribution to the community. And one of them, these are employable skills, but one of the most employable qualities is that positive attitude, that eagerness for you to develop yourself, that eagerness to contribute, and the motivation for you to be successful in your career. And volunteering activity is a great way to demonstrate that eagerness, that motivation, and it's going to allow you to develop these skills that you're seeing on the screen, even if you haven't had a paid employment opportunity just yet. It's a great way to get your foot in. So this is just some of the examples of the content we cover in the workshop. It is going to be in much more detail. This is just one example that we're looking at here. So it is an important slide. I do want to invite Sam to comment here as well. Sam, what is it about this slide that stands out to you?
So what sort of we've been seeing a little bit of lately, probably more often than not, is a lot of people are going through university without paid employment and, that haven't actually had jobs. So when we look at this guide, yes, it is fundamental to working with other people in a work environment. Most of those skills, looking at them, you're going to learn at university in your classes. The minute you're told you get a group project, I know I even remember from my day, used to groan because you do more work than someone else and all that sort of thing. But the idea of university is that you learn these skills. So the critical thinking and the teamwork and the self-awareness, how do I fit into this group? They're sort of things that you don't even realize you're taking out of your university journey. So you need to find a way to incorporate them into your resume and to sort of sell yourself when you are in an employment interview. So certainly not all 14, but you need to be sort of thinking all the way along that university journey that, you know, what am I learning here? What am I taking out? Why is this a group project? What are they looking for me to gain in this? Because they're the sort of things that teach you to be a better employee in the world. So that's probably the number one thing I would suggest. The other thing that Sina and I are finding is in our intake interviews, we'll have a resume that, you know, we'll have volunteering experience, but whoever we're speaking to has had a job, but they don't consider it part of their journey. So, for example, they're studying marketing and media, but they've worked at Macca's for 2 years, but it's not relevant to what I want to do. Well, working in any environment is teaching you really fabulous employable skills. And so I urge you to include those things. Any leadership you've done in high school, any joining of clubs and societies while at university, add it all in, because it becomes part of the framework of who you are and who you're going to be as an employee. So these skills are really important to be aware of. It's a really important slide, but you don't necessarily have to have found these skills in a workplace. It's just as good if you found them in your university, your school career, and just take note of them and be aware of, you know, their importance in your employability. Thanks, Sina.
Excellent, thanks, Sam. No, those are some great points. One of the common things we come across, as you've mentioned, is that we have you know, candidates who've done certain jobs that they don't sell in as much. Your CV is ultimately a marketing tool. It's a tool for you to sell yourself and sort of highlight the skills you're developing in a given experience, because the Macca's example you used is a great one, because you know, that's great. You know, that's you're demonstrating good communication skills. You're working under time pressure. Sometimes you're dealing with difficult customers. It's a team environment that can kind of sometimes be intense because there's time pressure. There's a lot of customers. So whatever activity or job or any activity that you have, you really want to think about it deeply and sort of discover these skills that you are developing, that you are demonstrating, and be really able to market those in your CV and then in the interviews. Because we get this a lot, you know, retail and hospitality experience, kind of sometimes students discount that. It's actually highly valuable. So sometimes, you know, in the CV, they don't really elaborate much. So they're missing the opportunity to market their skills, to market their abilities. So you really do want to be able to sell yourself. Not everybody likes to sort of be talking super positively about themselves, but in a CV, you kind of need to, because the person that's reviewing that wants to know what you're going to bring on the table or bring to the table. And, you know, it's a competitive sort of situation. So you really do want to think about these skills that you are developing and demonstrating, and be able to really market those and highlight those in your CV. And as I mentioned, have examples ready around that. That's going to come up in interviews. And as I mentioned, also a lot of the job descriptions you see for different roles have a combination of these skills that they're requiring. So having those on the CV, it's going to really help, because then that's what the person is going to see when they're reviewing the CV. They have the job description, they have the key selection criteria, which is essentially some of these skills and experiences. And if they see that on your CV, and it makes sense that you would have demonstrated those within that given experience, then it's really going to help you stand out. So great slide all around. I hope this was helpful. Now we'll move on to the next. So now just another good slide, very brief, but you know, it's sort of on what you want to be sort of doing in terms of crafting your career. Because this is really the time to do that. This is really the time to figure out a direction, sort of figure out what your goal is, because it's very important to sort of have a goal, because that's what's going to motivate you. So really think about, and first of all, you really want to explore, you really want to have a good idea of the different career paths that are available, different activities. We always encourage you to get involved in university activities, different groups and societies, even if they're not really related to your the degree that you've enrolled in currently, but you want to get an idea of what's going to be involved there, get involved. Really explore and find out what you're best suited to. You know, as we've mentioned, it's really important to have a direction, to have a goal, and then sort of be able to work kind of backwards and figure out what sort of skills and experiences you're going to need to develop to get to your destination. But as you see, it's also important to sort of transition and be agile and sort of figure out, you know, learn along the way and use what you learn to sort of reorient yourself as you need to. So explore, sort of figure out what's a good goal. What is a goal that's going to motivate you, you know, in terms of your career, and then sort of work backwards and start developing the skills that you're going to need to get there. And then as you learn, as you move along your journey, sort of be able to transition as you know, take in more information. Your orientation might sort of change a little bit, and that's normal. That's completely normal. So it's really important to think ahead. As I mentioned, have a goal that's going to give you the motivation that you need to sort of get after developing the skills that you need. So it's never too early to start thinking about this. Also never too late, but also never too early. So Sam, I would like to invite you to comment on this slide as well. What is it about this slide that stands out to you?
What I think is really important about this slide is, and I think everyone, you and I included, Sina, and everybody else that's joined us from the careers team, is that you never actually stop changing and growing and exploring, developing and transitioning through your life. So I think if you surveyed all the people in your life and where they started their careers at 18 and 19 compared to where they are at 50 and 60, everyone's been on a journey. Like I know at the moment studying psychology at Macquarie is the real buzz thing to do. Now, not everyone wants to become a psychologist. There's a lot of you doing psychology that then want to branch out and do HR or do marketing or work, you know, with people in different environments. So you've just, I think what you've got to remember is whatever you choose to do now is not necessarily what you're going to be choosing to do in 20 years. And as long as you set yourself up that you're constantly exploring and developing and transitioning, you have a happy work life. And as they say, if you do something you love, you never work a day in your life. So I think that's what we need to take out of this, is that this is not definitive. It's not a one-off process. You're always going to be changing. You may go on to do postgraduate work now. You may do it in 10 years. You may study marketing today and medicine in 10 years' time. You just don't know how you grow and change. And I think you're very young when you start university, and it's great to have a bit of direction. It's also good to know that the world is your oyster and you can do whatever it is you want to do. So that's my take out of this slide.
Excellent. Thank you, Sam. Great points. So again, just a few sort of examples of what we are going to cover in much more detail in the presentation, in the workshop that we have as part of the program. This was just 2 slides, quick example, and some important sort of topics to discuss. Once again, the benefits that you're going to get by joining the program, it is you get job alerts, you get notifications about the different jobs we have coming up. As Sam mentioned, we had 85 plus jobs in February. That's about, I can't do the math, 5-6 a day. You get personalized feedback, personalized coaching. So in that really intake interview that we have, it's a 30-minute conversation where we can provide you with any sort of information you may need, any question you may have. It is personalized coaching. So you will get a complete insight into what the recruitment process looks like from an employer standpoint, what's happening behind the scenes, so that you can have that knowledge and information to be able to be successful at every stage in the process. And again, this whole thing is really aiming to give you that confidence that you have the knowledge and you have the sort of direction, so you will know how to develop those skills and be able to succeed in the process. That's pretty much it on the benefits. I do want to highlight again, by completing the program, you do get priority access to the jobs, because in our system, we can see which candidates have been through this process and which candidates haven't. So it does give you an advantage to go through this process, because the MQSE, we are usually the ones to provide a short list of qualified candidates to employers, and we do give priority access to the students who complete this program. So once again, this program is designed to reflect what a corporate recruitment process is, so that you guys get that insight and get that practice and experience if you haven't, and if you have, you become more aware of what's happening behind the scenes. So just next step, some of the information here, how you can reach us and some support. Just quickly on, before we move on to questions, if you have any questions, please feel free to leave them in the chat. While you're doing that, here's a quick snapshot of the other events that are available during Careers Week. So I would highly encourage you guys to go to all of these. These are usually delivered by some of our experienced careers advisors. I would highly encourage you guys to attend these workshops. So that's just quickly on what's on offer this week. Join our Facebook group. We've just established a new Facebook group, Macquarie Employability Connect. So join this group. There will be a lot of content posted on this page, whether it's jobs being advertised or helpful content on employability. So definitely encourage you guys to join this group. And once again, register to the program. Scan that QR code or visit Employability Connect, and we hope to see you guys in our sessions. Awesome, so that's the end of the slides. I will just stop sharing now so that we can get to your questions. Okay, fantastic. So when does the Job Ready workshop happen? Usually we try to have these once a week. So at the moment we're in Careers Week, so beyond this week, we hope to have those once a week, and you can find them on the MQ Student Employment page on Employability Connect. I see, Mohammed, you've raised your hand. Do you have a question?
Yes, I do. My question is that, so these Job Ready workshops happen once a week.
Yes.
And is it the same content every week, or like?
It is the same content. You know, we've sort of the content is designed to give you a complete insight into the recruitment process and sort of how you can stand out at every stage. We've had a lot of sort of our career advisors and sort of previous HR and talent acquisition managers involved hands-on to develop the content. So it is designed to be really useful content, and it will be the same. So you only need to attend that once.
Okay, so when is it happening, this week or next week?
It's
or will we be told?
It will be on the website.
Which website?
There's some movement on Employability Connect, Macquarie Student
Okay.
Employment page.
All right. MQSE.
That's right. Yes.
All right.
Excellent.
I'll put this on my to-do list. Joining MQSE.
Perfect.
Thank you so much.
Look forward to seeing you there. Thanks, Mohammed.
All right.
Awesome. Okay. So there's a question, is the session being recorded? Yes, it is.
Oh, one more question.
Yeah, go on, Mohammed.
Well, is this workshop face-to-face or on Zoom?
At the moment, it's on Zoom. Over the course of this semester, we do hope to have some face-to-face sessions available, so we can be there in person with you. At the moment, though, they're on Zoom.
Okay.
Awesome.
Doesn't matter either way.
Hopefully, they're valuable either way. Any other questions, guys?
Sina, there's a good question here in regards to, are you able to help with us writing an application process for an internship, industry placement, summer program type role?
So that is something we can have a chat about in the one-on-one intake interview. As I mentioned, in the one-on-one intake interview, there will be an opportunity at the end for you guys to ask us anything, ask us any sort of challenge you may have, any questions you may have. And if this is your question, we can sort of have a look to see what help we can provide, what sort of advice we can give you, what sort of steps are involved. And based on that, we'll be able to have that conversation. Excellent.
Sina, someone's also asked, do they need to have a tax file number before they join the Job Ready Club?
No, you will not need that TFN to join the Job Ready Club. That is something you will need for any paid employment. So I do encourage you guys to get one straight away if you have not got one already. But for the program, no, you will not need a TFN.
It's just one of those things that's very handy to actually have. You've got that same number your whole life. So it's good to get it because you never know, you may start work next week and all of a sudden it's held up because you don't have your TFN. So I think I agree with you, Sina. I definitely encourage you to go and get your TFN. Thanks.
Thank you. Mohammed, you've got your hand raised again.
Yes. Well, I've been told in the chat to join what? Okay, what is it? Where is it? I've been told in the chat to join a professional association relevant to my study or career choice. Can you give me an example of one? I'm doing a Bachelor of Arts with a major in ancient and modern history.
That's something sort of to figure out depending on your education. Like for somebody studying accounting, kind of be like CPA, you know, you want to, if you want to become a certified accountant, you want to join CPA, or if you're in HR, you want to join, for instance, CIPD. So that's a couple of examples for your specific major. You can sort of do some research online. You could potentially book in a consultation with one of our career advisors as well. They can give you much more insight into that too.
Sorry, just to interrupt, Mohammed, I've just popped in, if you just do a Google search, so if you're interested in becoming a historian, for example, just Google, you know, Historian Association Australia or New South Wales, and I just found one there for historians.org.au. So really just, if for anyone who's interested, just Google whatever it is your field you're interested in, and then professional association, and you'll usually get some that come up there for you.
Perfect, thank you, Erica. Erica and
Thank
Jen,
you.
two of our career advisors, so wealth of knowledge.
That's why you speak to the Macquarie Student Careers team. You have fabulous experts, the touch of a button. Thank you, Erica.
And good Googlers.
And a great Googler.
Yes, definitely.
Excellent.
Okay, is this program particularly tailored to employment in uni? The answer is no. Now, I do want to highlight a lot of the jobs that are going on campus, especially targeting students, are exclusively coming through us, and being part of this program is going to give you an advantage in getting hired into one of those. So I can highlight that there's lots and lots of jobs on campus and they're exclusively coming through us. But this program is not just tailored for that. This program is tailored to give you guys a complete insight into the recruitment process as a whole, usually with companies at a corporate level. We'll give you sort of some examples of what's happening at every step. So it is designed to give you guys a complete insight into the recruitment process overall. Mohammed.
So
Yeah.
I can realistically get into a job, into a role in the university even after I finish?
Yeah, you can. The Employability Connect access is available to graduates after 12 months of graduating. So still after 12 months, you'll be able to apply for jobs on Employability Connect. And, you know, that can be anything. It depends on your situation, obviously. The jobs you apply for do need to be suitable to your background and sort of where you're at. But to answer, the short answer is yes, it's definitely available. Some rules even just target graduates, you know, if it's some casual roles target graduates because of privacy reasons, so they can't, for instance, have existing students do those roles, and we get a lot of jobs that are graduates, so they are for graduates, they're full-time.
Are these graduate programs by any chance?
Graduate programs are a little bit different. Those graduate programs, we do present those opportunities as well, but they're usually handled internally by the companies. So for instance, we advertised some graduate programs for Deloitte and Oracle in the last few weeks. Those are handled internally at those companies by the sort of the HR team at those companies. But
and when can I apply for graduate programs?
You can find the sort of Grad Connect, Grad Australia. Those are some great websites where graduate programs are advertised. They do have their specific intake, so get on top of those early, sort of find out when their intakes are and when the applications are open for that. They do target students depending on sort of the year of study they're in as well. So I would highly encourage you to keep an ide on those early, sort of gather that information early. Each company is different. Usually there's 2 intakes usually. And the hiring process has a specific timeline. So it's best to get on top of those early.
I've just put the links to
Thank you so much.
I've just put the links to both Grad Australia and Grad Connection in the chat, and they there's loads of employers currently advertising for grad programs.
Perfect, thank you.
Now is grad season, so get onto it.
It is, yeah.
Anybody else have any questions? Sorry, Sina.
No, all good. I was just going to say, it is important to get on top of those early.
Wait,
if you are interested.
yeah, I've got a bit more
Excuse you.
questions.
Excuse you. Sorry.
Yeah. No, all good. Go on, Mohammed, go on.
Well, let's say I start applying for those graduate programs now,
Yeah.
but I can still apply for them after I graduate, can't I?
Some of them are open to graduates. Yeah, usually they're open to students who have graduated within the last 12 to 24 months. So definitely have a good read on their requirements because they do, again, some of the programs are open to students in their penultimate year, some in final year. Some are open only to students who've graduated within the last 12 to 24 months. So each company is different, each program is different, but it is true that they will target specific sort of students at specific stages.
All right. Thank you so much.
No worries. It is just one of those things that you do have to get on top of early on because of the sort of the specifics of the timeline that they have and sort of the specifics of the degree and sort of the time of degree that they target. So if you guys are interested in graduate programs, they do give you guys a good opportunity to learn multiple different functions within a different field, within a specific field. So if you're, for instance, in HR, a graduate program might put you in recruitment, compensation benefit, employee relations, or whatever else. So they can give you an opportunity to explore different areas, similar with finance or similar with anything else. So they are a good avenue to go. And it's always best to get on top of those early. Any other questions, guys? Type them in the chat. You can, similar to Mohammed, get on the camera and ask us. And if there are no more questions, we can wrap up here. We do appreciate you guys coming. We do appreciate the questions and the engagement. And we very much hope to see you guys in our programs. Any last question, Mohammed?
Thank you.
Well, so we have a series of activities this week.
Yes, yeah. There's a number of different presentations. I
screenshotted it. I screenshotted the slide.
I'll just post it up again for anyone else that might have a quick look. So here's a list of the events that we have. So you can see that we are here right now. If you can see the cursor on my screen, finding jobs, we have All About PACE at 1 p.m. Definitely encourage you guys to attend that as well, especially for existing students. That's if you're not aware, that's work integrated learning. So that's an internship that you get to do to get both work experience and also you can get academic credit for those. So I would definitely encourage you guys to attend the PACE session. And as you can see, tomorrow we have another session by MQSC on how to stand out to employers. It's it's basically a little bit building upon what we've discussed today. So definitely encourage you guys to attend that too. And lots more sessions across this week. So take a screenshot, take a photo, and make sure to attend as many of these. They will help you. Okay, so hopefully you guys have your photo by now. Stop sharing. Okay, so we got another hand. Yes, Alankrita?
Yeah, hi, I did have a question. Can postgraduate students also join PACE?
Postgraduate students, I believe so. Is there someone who can provide more accurate information on that? Jen, Erica?
Sorry, is it Job Ready Club, or is that what you're talking about? Or-
PACE program.
I think I would check in with your course advisors. I think there are a couple of postgraduate courses that have a PACE element, or you might actually just be involved in industry project, but it depends on the postgrad qualification. So it's only a few of them do have it. So I'll just check in with your course advisors on that.
Because in my program, because I'm doing Masters of Professional Accounting with CA specialization, so I don't have a PACE component in that.
Okay, then yeah. So only it's usually all the graduate ones do, and just a couple of the postgrad. So what you'd be best to do is do some research and hopefully join the Job Ready Club if you can, but also just to find some relevant work experience or your own internship sort of separately, I guess, to the university.
Okay, thank you so much.
Also have a look at what elective subjects are available, because I remember a while ago there were elective subjects that were business internships. So have a look at what electives are available to you as well. There might be some element similar to PACE there. Mohammed, yes.
Are there any prerequisites before I can attend a Job Ready Club?
No, you just all you have to do is submit the form on the website, and you can then book into the workshop. Once we have the next date, you'll be able to sign up. No prerequisites other than that.
And will this be emailed to me? Like, when is the next Job Ready Club?
Yes, they will be provided in the email. You'll
Thank
get
you
the
so
slide
much.
No worries, all good.
Oh, okay.
We do have a question from Carl. Are there opportunities for first-year students to take on casual jobs? And as Mel has answered, yes, definitely. There are roles at all levels, and we have lots of hospitality. We even advertise hospitality and retail roles, and we have a lot of casual opportunities available on campus that are open to first-year students as well. So definitely good on you, Carl, for getting involved early. It's never too early. And as Jen has mentioned, look at Employability Connect. You can see all the upcoming workshops, and you can see all the jobs advertised there as well. Okay, any other questions, guys? Not sure if you can hear the gardening going on outside my building, so I guess now might be a good time to wrap up the presentation. Thank you all again, and we hope to see you at our workshop and one-on-one interviews. Enjoy the rest of Careers Week, guys.
Thank you, everybody.
When are these?
And all the very best for your career journey ahead.
Yeah, when are the